Hey everyone, I'm Selena Hill, and this is the new norm on Black Enterprise. Today I'm speaking with legendary hip hop producer Jermaine Dupri, a pioneer in hip hop record labels and a Grammy award-winning hit maker who has discovered and groomed some of the biggest stars on the planet. Thank you so much, JD, for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So you've always been a very, very busy man. You know, one of your latest ventures is your vegan ice cream line. I actually want to start there. Can you tell us when and why you decided to launch this ice cream line?
Well, I mean, I've been vegan almost close to 20 years. It's not there yet, but almost 20 years. And it's actually my lifestyle. So it's mostly like I was thinking of things that we in the vegan community actually miss and don't have, basically, or don't even have anybody that's just like flag shipping it to be like, yo, this is what you should eat, and this is dedicated to you the people of the vegan community. So initially it was just me trying to find all kind of different things, foods that I could put into this mix to be JD's vegan. But then I went out one night and I realized that when you go to a restaurant and you're vegan and they do have vegan options, the one thing that they usually are like bad with is the dessert part, right? So they always come out, my friends that are not non-vegan, they'll have some like creme brulee, some crazy old fire cake and all of this extra stuff. And then they'll be like, Mr. Dupri, we have a plate of fruit for you. And I'm like, fruit? And looking at everybody else have such a great time. So I just was like, we got to come up with some kind of dessert that becomes a familiarity to restaurants and people in lifestyle in general. And they just start like just putting it there. Like JD's Vegan becomes, you know, just the ice cream that you just have it there for people that's come there that's vegan and people that want to try a healthier lifestyle.
Exactly. So what are some of the ingredients? We know you're not using dairy or milk. You're using plant-based milk. Is it coconut milk? Is it almond milk? Oat milk?
Yeah, it's coconut milk.
Oh, good. Because I'm allergic to almonds and oat. So I got to get me some of this vegan ice cream now. And you named the flavors after some of the biggest records you produced. I think the latest that came out is My Way. So I wanted to actually start there. How have you come up with the names? Like, tell us about the names and then tell us about My Way.
Well, the chocolate My Way, once again, was just kind of like, it was almost like just something I thought about because I was like, something I didn't think about because I was just saying it because I was like talking about the flavors and saying, I want this strawberry flavor to be my way of how I want it, right? And so at first, in initial creation of this, the strawberry sweetheart was the only flavor that we had that we was going to really push and try to get out there. So in the conversations of that My Way just automatically just rolls off the tongue. It's like, because me saying it, I want you to taste strawberry the way I want you to taste it. So as we got, deeper into the conversation about more flavors, it became apparent that the My Way thing was there. And then it also was a tie-in to the Usher album as well. So it just happened organically.
Very organically. And, speaking of My Way and the Usher album, I was his second album. It just blew up. It really propelled Usher into the king of R&B at the time, king of Atlanta, definitely took it to the next level. Did you know when you were producing that this album was going to be as big as it became?
No. It actually was the first male solo artist that I had ever produced R&B. So I was nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like I was going with my energy, and my energy said I was doing the right thing. But you never know in the music, so I didn't. I definitely didn't know the album was going to do what it did.
And just tell us, what did that album really do for Atlanta? What did it do for you, your career, and what did it do for R&B?
Well, people tell me for R&B it was just like a breaking period for the actual connection between the definition between young and older R&B music, because I feel like, matter of fact, this is not my words, this is somebody I heard saying this. They were saying that the people that had records prior to Usher's My Way coming out, they were getting songs written by older artists. So the older artist was giving them older sounding records, or they was giving them records that sounded more like even the young artists had records that sounded more mature. I heard Tyrese say this, like even with the song Sweet Lady, he said he was too young to actually be talking about Sweet Lady and Would You Be Mine, and here comes Usher with My Way, and here comes Usher with Nice and Slow, and here comes songs that were what guys that age wanted to talk about. So ultimately, to me, that's what the album actually did. It started a trend of R&B artists speaking more about what they're actually into, as opposed to thinking what R&B should be. I didn't know that was actually happening. I didn't know that we was actually doing that. But like I said, I have heard people say this in the past.
Oh yeah, like when you say that lyric when he said, you know, I'm put my hands in places I've never seen. He sounds like he's talking from his perspective as a young man, as a teenager at that time. And it definitely hit, because I remember when that song came out, like we were just singing it and it resonated with us in our generation. You know, JD, when you say you had no idea what you were doing, you were almost experimental in that space and you were so successful. I want to bring it back to vegan ice cream. Is it the same feeling where you're just like, hey, you know, veganism is a lifestyle right now, it's popular right now. Let's just experiment in this space and see what we can do.
No. I mean, since this is my lifestyle, you know, it's every day for me. So I'm not experimenting with this, you know, because it's like I said, I know for sure that, you know, you go to a restaurant, the dessert menu for vegans is very, very slim. I also know that vegan ice cream and vegan food in general has not been challenged the way that I challenge it. And I don't think it's been lived the way that I'm living it. So it's definitely not experiment with me. I'm definitely like focused on this 100%. And I was focused on the My Way album, but like I said, it was my first time doing it. Even though this is my first time selling ice cream, I feel like since I'm vegan, it puts me more in a chair to actually be able to tell somebody what the difference is, right? And then the heartbeat of JD's Vegan is hip hop again. So I believe that the one thing I will say that's experimental is the marketing of JD's Vegan and the way I'm moving it through the community and through the culture is very experimental for food. But at the same time, I feel like it's going to do the same thing that Usher did. It's going to create a different way and wave of how you sell products.
Yeah, no, that's big, because the impact of My Way was huge on the culture. And now you're trying to do the same thing with veganism as a lifestyle. And of course, your ice cream line, super, super ambitious. I'm here for it. I love the fact that you are putting the flavor in veganism. How is the culture responding? Are we getting on board?
I was not expecting this many non-vegans to run to Walmart and get this ice cream. And I wasn't expecting, you know, like the community at a large to respond to it the way that they are based on it being vegan. Like I said, I made this for vegans and I made it for the vegan community. I didn't make it and say, I want to make something that non-vegans actually like. I know that it's a stretch already to get a lot of people that's non-vegan to try vegan products. But what I have learned is that there's a lot of people out there that want a healthier lifestyle, but they're scared to get into it. And ice cream seems to be a very, very easy entryway for you to be like, oh, I'm eating some vegan. Maybe I should try something else. So without me even knowing that I was doing that, that's the one thing that I did with this that I didn't expect to happen, because I wasn't even thinking about that part of it. And then I didn't know, sorry, not to cut you off, I didn't know so many Black people were lactose.
Oh, yes, because of roots from what I understand, because of our roots in Africa and West Africa, where they weren't, had like cows on farms. We just don't have that in our genetics. And, to your point, I found out I was lactose. Sometimes I can, eat dairy, but sometimes I can't. Most of the time I can't. And if it doesn't affect my stomach, it affects my skin. So as a result, I've become very health conscious, and I'm a aspirational vegan. One day, I tell myself, like, one day I'm going to get there. I'm going to get to JD's point where it's been 20 years. But I love the fact that you're introducing products for people like me to start dabbling into it and see that you don't necessarily have to give up a lot of the things that you love or are accustomed to just because you're being healthier.
Yeah, it's all about flavor. And I think that's the thing about, JD's Vegan for the future. It's all about, what I put out under the JD's Vegan brand will be vegan with a whole lot of flavor, and vegan with the same flavor as whatever it is that you eat. Once again, I have had, I do see the bad reviews as much as I see the good reviews. And the bad reviews, I never trip on the bad reviews, because once again, the people that are saying, this ain't for me, I don't really rock with it, they're not vegan. So at that point, I'm like, I didn't expect for you to actually like my ice cream in the first place. I'm glad you tried it, but 9 times out of 10, I'm automatically believing that if you're not a vegan and your taste buds are really set on regular, it's a hard thing for you to switch over and try something that's vegan, because it's much, like I said, it's healthier, it's no dairy, it's no gluten. It's taking out all of the stuff that your body already is craving and already used to.
Exactly. And you have to really train or retrain your palate, because I'm at the point, I'm up to about a half a gallon of water a day and eating healthy. I can't consume too much sodium, too much sugar. I can't drink high C because of my palate is like, what is this? So it's the reverse way. And I think I love the fact that you're really, educating the community on just the health aspects. Like, yes, it may not taste good now, but you do have a lot of benefits. And I remember, JD, when I first spoke to you about your vegan lifestyle, you were saying how it benefited you, how you had more energy. Can you just talk about some of the benefits of being vegan?
Yeah, I mean, just in that level of energy, your energy level is pretty much high, from morning to evening, depending on what schedule you're on. And then, you just feel lighter. You feel like, you don't feel bogged down when you have dinner. You just feel, I know for me, I just feel like it's always giving me energy, and I'm not in the space that I used to be when I used to eat like steak and hamburger. I used to really be like sluggish and tired and, oh my God, and all of this other stuff. Now, I eat a burger and I'm like, I probably need to eat something else in the next 30, 40 minutes. That's the only unfortunate part, is that you don't actually really get full like what you're used to. So like I said, you have to wean yourself off of that, because you actually shouldn't be that full where you eat and don't eat for 4 hours. You should eat, and then in the next hour or so eat again, because food is supposed to be a fuel, not a stabilizer or anything like that. So it's supposed to be a fuel.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, I did want to also give you congratulations. You're receiving an honorary Doctor of Fine Arts degree from the Art Institute of Atlanta. in mid-June, and you're doing a commencement speech. So should we be calling you Dr. Dupri now?
I feel like at some point you're going to have to call me Dr. Dupri. At the end of this year, I will be Dr. Dupri. Yes.
I'm here for it. Do you think something like this was long overdue?
No, not at all. I feel like, I feel like it's all in pace of my life, because based on me studying other people. I mean, unless things are supposed to happen for me faster than they've happened for other people, then maybe so. But I don't actually look at my life like that. I look at those that have come before me and, the things that they had to do to even get to the spaces that they're in. So I don't even rush me, because I'm like, if they just now getting this and they're just now getting this, then, I guess my time will come. You know what I mean? I know that, but but if people want to give me things earlier, then cool. I'm not opposed to it. But I was looking at like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They just got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as producers. So, and some people was like, well, it's your turn. And I'm like, I don't know if it's my turn. It's Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They just getting in there. So it's like, let's let the guys that come before me get their flowers and do what they got to do. I'm going to keep getting mine. I'm going to do what I got to do. But I don't think it's that's overdue. I just think I feel like it's time though. It is definitely time.
It definitely is. And when you mentioned Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, I was so happy to sort of see them re-celebrated in the Janet documentary that just came out, and you made a appearance in it too. Do you think that the documentary portrayed your relationship accurately and fairly?
Yes, I do. I think the interesting part about the Janet documentary that people don't understand is that me and Janet talked to each other about this documentary. So it's not something that somebody else portrayed my relationship. It was, she and I both talked about this and laughed about my comments and all of this type of stuff. So it wasn't like a thing that somebody called me and asked me to be a part of it. It was, me and Janet talking about doing this. It was her documentary. So.
Right. And so you fully supported it and everything.
Yeah. I wanted people to understand. I mean, it's one thing about the doc that I feel like people was like, oh, you said, but I wanted people to understand, like, it's my life. You can leave it right here, sir. Okay. Yeah. It is my life. And at some point, it's not something I want to run away from. It's not something that I want to hide, or there's no secrets involved. It's anything, it's something that I can actually talk about at this point now. And I felt like it was good. I thought it was a great documentary, period.
It really was. And the last thing before we let you go, JD, in your home state, Young Thug and Gunna have been indicted. As everybody in the hip hop community keeps talking about. What does this mean for hip hop and just the history of prosecutors putting rap music on trial? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't think. I mean, the thoughts that I have about it is that, wow, Southern hip hop is so popular that it's making people actually forget that this has happened to other people in other states. So that's the one thing that's really standing out the most to me, is how popular hip hop from Atlanta has gotten. Because even you asking me this question, I'm not sure that when Bobby Shmurda went to jail and when Lil Wayne got his gun charge, and he went to jail for 2 years, and so many, it's happened so many times. And it's just, I feel like hip hop for the South is so popular and it's so big and it's become so mainstream that this seems a lot different than any of the others that's out there. Now, I'm not trying to downplay it or anything like that, but that's the thing that's really hitting me, because I came up in a time when Atlanta was not cool and people weren't even taking us serious, and to see how the whole world is paying attention to rappers that come from my city, and how everyone is just paying attention to this is really, really crazy to me, because it's like I said, it's almost like this is the first of its kind, and it's not actually. It's not. We've seen this before. So for me, it's not really shocking and all of that. It's just that's the part that's shocking to me, that, wow, the city is really popping.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely are one of the pivotal players that put Atlanta on the map and the South on the map when it came to hip hop. I mean, even with So Def has, 20 plus years of being just a trailblazer when it comes to the entertainment industry, when it comes to discovering big names, creating chart topping hits. Like that's you. Like, come on. So we definitely got to put some respect in your name there. But when we speak to So Def, I found it surprising that Bow Wow was like, he wished he never signed. And I'm just like, I'm a huge Bow Wow fan. Okay, so I saw exactly what you did when you guys were working together. Did you have any thoughts on him having regrets around that?
Nah, I don't really subscribe to any of that. I feel like, Bow Wow was signed to Death Row before he came to So Def. So, him feeling sometimes like he wish he would have stayed at Death Row, maybe. I mean, I can't really speak on the fact that I don't know what his mindset is and what his mindset was at that time. You know what I mean? I feel like we've all heard Snoop say that he brought him to me because he felt like if he would have stayed with Death Row, he would have got in trouble and blah, 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 blah. The younger community and young kids and young artists and younger guys, they definitely drift more towards the gangster side of hip hop and want to be on the tough side of things. So, I mean, I like I said, I can't really speak on how that would be, but it probably, maybe it could be. Like I said, if you come from somewhere else prior and then you end up somewhere, you might have regrets about not staying in the space that you were in. So I don't, I never could know, but it is what it is,
We'll never know, but I'm so happy it happened. JD, thank you for your time. Tell us where and how we can buy JD's vegan ice cream.
All right. So the last thing I want to drop on you, because this is a business enterprise interview. One thing that I've been trying to do since we got JD's vegan launched through Walmart and all that is that I wanted to always be able to say at some point that the ice cream was made in Atlanta, right? It's not manufactured in Atlanta right now, but I've been wanting to try to figure out how to get us manufactured in Atlanta, buy a factory, do something, and actually create this movement in the city, and hopefully, create jobs and give people more opportunity, like I've always done. So, as of 3 days ago, yes, we signed a deal where JD's Vegan will now be manufactured in Atlanta. And that dream of that idea, that big idea that I had, can possibly come to life at this point now. So that's the one thing I'm really, really excited about. And to answer your question, anybody that wants to get JD's Vegan, go to jdsvegan.com, or you can go to walmart.com and get JD's Vegan. Soon, very soon, all those places that's saying they can't find it, it will totally be in all the stores across the country.
JD, that's huge.
Yes.
Ice cream is so you like, okay, this is so next level for Atlanta. So you have JD's ice cream being made in Atlanta. How did that process go? Was this a long time in the making? How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole process of things that we had to figure out and try to get it to go, find a manufacturing company that we could partner with and do this along with Walmart. And it's just, like I said, it's been a thing. It's like, to me, I grew up knowing Coca-Cola was from Atlanta and there was a Coca-Cola brand and I want young people that are my young daughter's age, 11 or even younger, 6 to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, growing up in Atlanta, to know that JD's Vegan, Atlanta is the home of JD's Vegan ice cream, as well as So Def and everything else. But as far as a brand, owned by a Black man, it's created in the city that they actually live in.
That is amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on some of the ice cream. Thank you again for not just, your time today, but everything you've been doing for the culture. You've been moving the culture forward for 25 plus years. And we appreciate you, especially now that you're getting into, well, you've been in the vegan space, but you're giving us more options. So thank you.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Take care.